I do a lot of dead baiting for pike, and one thing I believe in is setting up a scent trail so that the pike find your bait easier. Now, your dead bait has got a lot of natural scent in it, and you can increase that by puncturing it, and that gets out into the water, and eventually the scent trail permeates away from it and the pike home in on it. But sometimes, if I'm in a swim, I'm going to be in all day, I like to set up a really big scent trail that they'll home in on, and I do that by ground baiting. I'll show you my ground bait mix, which if there's pike around, it will draw them from far and wide. The basis of it is this fish meal method mix. And I'm just putting some in the bucket, just as I would if I was after carp or bream or tench. But I'm going to add a few ingredients now which will make it that much more attractive to pike. First of all, a really good squirt of Dynamite Predator liquid. Does help if I take the top off. This really does draw predators in. You can actually put it on your dead bait as well, but I like to get some in my ground bait mix. And then I like to get a load of chopped fish, drop all them into the bait. And these are old fish that I was going to throw away anyway. I'm just going to cut them up or break them up into chunks. It doesn't matter what shape they are. Just get them in the bait there, and well, you can see already that the stench on my hands of fish is just unbelievable. And once that's out in the water, that's going to draw pike in. It doesn't have to be neat, as long as there's plenty in there. I'll just mix that up, add a bit of water as you would normally, and I'm trying to make quite a stiff mix, so I'm not going to overdo it straight away. Right, that's a bit dry. Bit more water. Now, if I was doing this when I know there's a huge amount of prey fish about, I'd probably put in some mixed particles, a bit of hemp, and because it's a good idea to draw the prey fish in as well, because obviously they will attract the attention of the pike. And the reason I'm trying to get it quite stiff is that the way I'm going to put it into the swim is with a ground bait catty. Right, that's feeling quite good. Now that's a really sticky method mix. That's going to really go out as far as I want it to go. I'll probably be able to fire those balls 40 yards. And they'll land on the bottom, and what's going to happen is all the prey fish will come in and they'll start pecking away, setting up a big cloud around it, and then the currents in the lake will pick up the scent trail and take the scent trail away from the bait, and the pike will home in on this. And by the time they come in, hopefully this is broken down and there's a few chunks of fish on the bottom. The prey fish will see the pike coming, they'll get out of the way, and what's left is a big smelly pile of bait with some nice tasty little chunks of fish in it. And believe me, I know this works. The pike will start picking these up, and I know this is a fact because when I've caught pike over this bait, the back of the throat is full of all these chunks. So all you need to do is just cast your regular dead bait into the area where you've put your ground bait. But because the pike get used to picking up these little bits and pieces, I'll often just fish on the hook a little chunk of bait. I'll probably float fish it for sensitivity, or I might use the old kebab rig, which is basically just multiple chunks of bait on the hook. So that's ground baiting for pike. Believe me, it works. A few tips: it works better in the milder weather when the pike are really on the move. It doesn't work so good when it's really cold as it is today. And if you do get a bite, if your float goes, strike pretty quick, because once they get onto these chunks, they'll start bolting them down. So give it a try. I think you'll be quite surprised how effective it can be.